Hey, this is Mike Thompson. Whoa, Maggie, what you doing back there?
I'm sorry.
This is Maggie, this is Mike. They are Lucky Mud, and you're going to get to know them tonight hey, on Radio Cosmos Live.
Satellite online.
Transmitting from the third move from the sun. You have tuned into Radio Cosmos.
Hey, it's Mike Thompson. I am back here in the lovely Studio 812 control room with Mike and Maggie. They are Lucky Mud.
That's us.
Yep.
Thank you for coming in, guys.
Thanks.
We were chatting a little while ago and started to hear the story of how these guys got together, and it's pretty fascinating stuff. So, Mike?
Nope. I got stationed at Tyndall in 66. Got out in 69. Just before I got out, I met this young girl with anti-war rallies on the marina, and we hit it off.
Well, my cousin had died in 66. He was from Bluntstown. I'm a hometown girl. And he was in Vietnam, and he died when I was 13 years old. And I thought, if you can't tell me why all these people are dying, bring them home until you come up with a really, really good reason. And then if it's a good reason, then send them back. But until you do, because there weren't no good reasons for why we were there. And so, and I wasn't anti-military, and I'm not anti-war. I'm just anti-stupid war, and I'm against killing people until you know why they're dying. So
Yeah, you better have a good reason.
absolutely.
And I've never really known a soldier that liked war. It's really funny because people said, "How did you get together?" Well, we both had the same.
Yeah.
Let's get this over with thing.
Yeah, what's the old saying that the chicken has an interest in breakfast, but the pig is... I forget the rest of the joke. The pig is committed. Thank you. So yeah, military people probably ought to have a say.
So when I got out in 69, I hit the road like a bullet out of a gun, I guess. And then came back in 72 to see if she was still here. When she wasn't, she was in New Orleans. I had to go find her.
Track her down.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I graduated in 70. We just had our 50th class reunion.
Ah.
Can't believe it. We're old. It's fun.
Rutherford's still here.
No, we like it.
You're some of the youngest people I know.
Of course.
So you guys started playing music, right? I mean, were you playing music back then, or is that something that kind of developed over time?
When we met over music and poetry. We were always talking and playing about poetry and music. And then when I came back, I had my old guitar, and there was a bluegrass festival in Oaklockney in 1970, early in 72. And we drove up there, and it said $5 admission or free if you're playing. So I said, "Come on, let's play." So we got on stage and we played.
Maggie, you got to come play them, or you can't get it free. And I'm like,
so
it was always a monetary thing with us. I'm just saying.
We've been on stage ever since. Really, we've been all over, Europe and Canada. We just got back from Montana. We played the Montana Cowboy Poetry and Music Festival out there.
Man, that must have been great.
Yeah.
And we toured Ireland for 10 years, and essentially it paid for, we played in pubs, so it essentially paid for our trip. So we've traveled the world because of music.
Were you playing like Americana music or country or basically what an Irish person would think is?
Absolutely, we did not do Irish music. They had their own music. They were really good at it. They didn't want us.
So did you find there was definitely a lady? They wanted that authentic.
They love
lyric music.
Hank
They love
Senior,
lyric.
and they knew every word to.
Really?
Dolly Parton, Hank Williams, all of it, everything. So we didn't do many covers. We did some covers over there, but it's just mostly the sociability of music. Okay.
Yeah. They just love good music.
We played in really beautiful places like the Lennon Hall Art Center and Castle Bar, and also a lot of little pubs all over the place.
Yeah.
I think I told you on the phone, we were on a radio show over there in the west of Ireland, 96.1, Michael Commons, and he'd bring us in and talk about just everything under the sun, kind of like this.
Yeah.
And then I had a radio show over there for about 2 years, but I would make a radio show on a CD and then mail it to them, and they would put it on. It was
Now you guys are still doing a radio show
We
here
are.
now, right?
We
Tell us
are.
a little bit about that.
It's called Americana Cafe Sundays Radio Show. And
Americana Cafe Sundays radio
That's right.
show.
That's right. Which encompasses Americana and the fact that it's on Sundays. We did our shows for several years at Roberts Hall. We had a Sunday afternoon music
Right.
concert. And so we have incredible people from all over the country that we brought in that did our shows. And so we thought, well, since COVID hit, we thought, well, it would be really nice to be able to share this music with people still. And so we just we took all of the CDs that people had given us over the years, and Michael is really good at segueing music and making sounds. And so we just decided we were going to figure out how to do it, and we started putting together 30-minute radio shows, very little talking, really high quality music, and they're all on our website on Lucky Mud Music.
These are all people we've played music with on the road, or we brought them here to play music. So
All
it's
right. Cool. That's great to have those connections too. So that's Lucky Mud. One
Music.
one D.
One
D.
D.
Regular old,
It's-
nothing cool.
It's from a
Lucky
Kurt
Mud.
Vonnegut novel. Kurt Vonnegut's Cat's Cradle. He said, in the beginning, God made mud, and some of the mud was lucky mud, and it got to get up and look around at all the other mud. So we've always felt like the luckiest.
You've been looking
of mud.
around at the mud.
We have. At other mud.
The other mud. That would be us. Calvin, the other mud.
And that's kind of what we call our. People say, "What kind of music do you play?" And we're like, "Well, we call it swampy tonk and folkabilly, but it's kind of mud music because it's just a little bit of everything." So
Yeah. Beautiful. And that's cool because, I mean, that's when you start combining those things, you really create a new sound, and being creative like that and not just drop it into a pigeonhole or a stovepipe,
Well, yeah, and
whatever kind of.
isn't that the thing that it drives me crazy? Putting everything in boxes. Why does everything have to have a category? Why does everything have to have a box? And
Because people like me go, what kind of music do you play? And you gotta say, well, it's kind of,
yeah,
We say, how much
kinda-
time do you have?
Yeah,
it's
we
kind
kind
of
of
a
describe it
bluegrassy
as.
Americana home funk with a bit of reggae
Well,
tossed
there you
in.
go. See, we kind of do it acoustic based lyric music. So it's mostly about the lyrics and about the story, and it can be based in blues or folk or rock and roll, whatever it is. But it's mostly about the story and mostly about the lyrics. One of the things that always drove me crazy when we were in Nashville, there was that transitional period between Hank Sr. and Johnny Cash and all of those kind of guys into the kind of almost disco thing, which was really weird. I mean, it was very strange. And so they had, Porter Wagner had a perm. You know what I mean? It was that kind of stuff. It was like, please. So it was a
I
weird.
think it was just natural hair.
Well, yeah, no, I don't think so.
We could have perms, nobody would notice.
But see, I wouldn't go to you for advice about hair. I'm just saying. I'm just
Two
saying.
for two tonight.
Wow.
Everybody picking on me.
No, I'm not picking on
But then
you.
again, you would be correct not to me.
Very well,
Not to
there
me.
you go.
You'd be correct not to come to me. So Porter Wagner had a perm. Yeah.
Yes. And I was on the plane. I got to go on the big country music tour to Europe
Oh, nice.
called the Mervyn Contours. It was like huge. And he brought James Brown onto the plane to introduce everybody to James Brown because he was lobbying to get him on the Grand Ole Opry. So it was very odd times. It was
Let me guess how that went over back then.
It did not. So.
Yeah.
So music is this malleable, wonderful thing that I think it transcends boxing in. But
Absolutely.
I mean, everybody needs kind of like a comparison, like kind of who do you sound like, or who do you like, or what's your musical, genealogy. And so we just figure swampy tonk folkabilly that kind of fits what we do.
But I grew up with honky tonk and the transition to rock and roll. And then she grew up with folk and more like folk into
R&B.
R&B. And R&B came to me about the time I became a senior in high school and on into the service. I began to find that whole new form of music. So together, we have a blend of all of that. I think.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, like you said, the different styles of music. I think a lot of times are pushed by, record labels, or it helps.
Right.
You can pick up an album and go, "Oh, this is an R&B artist,"
That's
and
right.
this is and people like to hear what
Right.
so they kind of get pigeonholed into these sounds and things.
They do, and
But it's not such a bad thing because you can say things like, I discovered R&B and it was this whole world of stuff.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's got some give and take to it.
I
So
think
yeah,
I think streaming, the internet, I think music is kind of coming back. It's not necessarily coming back to the formal radio stations that we grew
Right.
up with,
Yeah.
but I think there's incredible music out there, incredible lyricists and incredible
There's these young people who are so awesome. Jason Isbell and
Patty
Elle
Griffin
King,
and-
Patty Griffin,
yeah.
all of them. They're what was it? Nathaniel Ratliff.
Nathaniel Ratliff and the Night Sweats. Have you heard them?
Oh yeah.
They're
incredible.
amazing.
So, actually, I have.
They're
See?
incredible.
Wow, that name rings a bell. Oh, Night Sweat.
Yeah.
But my generation likes to say we had the best music. Well, every generation had the best music.
Well, everybody till like the '90s. Then they kind of ran out of gas.
Mine was the 50s and 60s. So what the heck? But everyone has their own. Big band was probably the most sophisticated American music, but then
Yeah.
kind of hard to sell that now.
I don't know. Herb Alpert just put out a new album, and it's #2 on the
Really?
Herb is still here. Congratulations, Herb.
I think that's, and I actually listened to it this morning, and it sounds like, that tone, and it's him, not trying to show off, just being all about the melody.
That's cool.
So you guys are still putting on shows, right?
We are.
Yeah.
We
so
are.
Can you tell us a little about that?
We have our little farm. It's one of the old Gaynor homesteads. It's actually the original family of Bay County, up near Econfina Creek. We're less
Nice.
than a mile from Econfina Creek, and we have a little campground that we put in called It's on hipcamp.com. It's like Airbnb for campers. It's pretty cool. And then so we have a stage that we built from Pecky cypress that was dredged out of the Chipola River from a friend of ours.
Beautiful
years
stage,
ago.
great sound system.
We built this beautiful stage, and we had this pavilion across from it. So starting in October the 31st, that weekend, we're going to start doing our concerts again every Sunday afternoon at 2. And we bring in singer-songwriters from all over the country. I mean, I'm impressed
Oh, they're great.
with the kind of people and the quality of people that we get to come through. So
Beautiful.
yeah, so we'll go through March and probably end in April because
That's every
it gets
Sunday afternoon.
at 2:00.
That's got to be great.
Yeah, to Maggie's Musical Farm. Actually, is what we call it.
Maggie's Musical Farm.
We couldn't be Maggie's Farm because that's a giant pot operation out in Colorado.
So we didn't want to
We didn't
confuse
wanna get
anybody.
You
people
want to mess with those
confused.
guys?
No,
Yeah,
no,
they
no.
got lawyers.
No,
They
it's
lawyered
legal.
up enough to get it legal. They can come after
That's
you
right.
for.
So it's just Maggie's Musical Farm.
There you go. So you got. We talked about before. You guys have an addiction problem.
Yes, we do.
You have like 17 albums now. I think something like
Yeah.
that. What you
Yes, we
said.
It's
It could be more.
After 5, who's counting, right?
It's like asking a guitar player how many guitars do you have. Yeah, well, let me look in the closet. I'm not sure.
it's a sickness. What can we say?
Yeah.
Well, okay. So you don't even know this. Michael is actually a published author. He has an agent in New York and all kinds of stuff. 1992, he had a novel that came out, went nationwide, got great reviews. Starred Review and Publishers Weekly, actually.
Very
And
impressive.
so we followed it up when he got his rights back. We followed it up and put it out as an ebook, and then put the sequel out. Well, during COVID, the whole COVID thing, we thought, well, of course, we're so used to traveling and doing stuff, so we put out five novels of his.
Oh.
We put on Amazon. This is one of them. This is the latest.
That's the latest
one.
one.
This is The Shadow of a Bird in Flight.
Yeah.
You get that, Thomas? Yeah. So tell us, Southern. Okay, so it's a Southern tale. So this, give us the quickie version, the quickie review.
Oh, that's fun. It's a famous author, famous Southern author
Mm-hmm.
from Apalachicola, but he hasn't been home in over 35 years. He's been in New York City, so he's known as the premier voice of the New South, but he really hasn't been in the South for most of his life. He went to New York out of high school and went to college, and so his father was a very powerful doctor in Appalachia, and his father had been telling him, your mother abandoned us when you were 14. Well, he's in New York City, and he gets a phone call, and his mother's remains have been found in an old car in Appalachia. So he has to come home and face the South he wrote. He's been writing about the South for 35 years, but it's the South that he invented
Right.
with family, kind of like Faulkner did with family and fictitious places. And he has to come home and kind of face the real thing.
Now, is it like a murder mystery, or is it just more of it's just a kind of his journey coming back home, and that's just the
It's
driver
really about
for
the
it?
Southern diaspora. It's a fictional story, obviously, but it's really about the flavor of the South.
Right.
So,
I grew up in the South, and I love it. And trying to explain that to someone in New York, which I had to try to do. My agent is a New
Yeah.
Yorker, and that's why I subtitled it A Southern Tale, because my agent said, "Why don't we just call it A Southern Tale?"
Because that's not what it's called.
Right. So I put it on there just for him.
And you go by Michael too. That's very fancy. The agent made you do that too, didn't he?
No, actually that
actually, these are.
Hold
these
on,
are,
is there a picture in
These
here?
are all self. These are all
Not of me.
self-published. This one his agent had for quite some time, and I don't know if you know much about the book, but he got incredibly good rejections
Yeah.
from some of the top companies.
Did they make you feel better that they were incredibly well written?
kind of, but it is. It's because the story is Southern, and
Right.
and a lot of times that's hard to explain to somebody who isn't. With my first novel, the one that went nationwide, my agent, he was my editor then. Now he's my agent, but he'd call me and say, "Okay, what is a fat lighter not?" And I said, "What, you don't know?"
Yeah.
Or a Jim Walter home.
Jim Walter home. Dave Gardner used to say a Jim Walter home is one where you knock on the front door and the back door rattles.
Yeah.
So see, we know that stuff. But
Well, you wouldn't. Yeah.
So we put them all out as ebooks on Amazon. So I mean, as whether you get them you can get them as paperback or as an ebook.
Wow. Well, I'd go check it out because we all need a little Southern education.
Well,
So, well, hey, I love that you're an author.
Yeah.
And very impressive, but it's not why we're here today.
that's
it's
right.
not.
No, we are here to hear some music. How about you guys bundle up? We'll pop over next to
I'd
the
love to do
tracking
that.
room.
Please don't make me read a book.
I'm about to say, and you can have a reading. You can read the entire
Oh
book.
Lord, no.
That'll be for later. Anyway, what do you think? A little music?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
All right, they're Lucky Mud, and we'll be right back over there.
Over there.
Ciao.
Oh, hey, didn't see you there. Uncle Scotty and Fred are just sitting here in the old trailer park watching Radio Cosmos Live.
All right, hey, we're back in Studio 812. My name's Mike Thompson. This is Maggie. That's Mike. They are Lucky Mud. They're going to play some music for us. So, what you going to start off with? Now, I know you guys. I just cut you off. I know you guys are big on this lyrical music. It's about the words. It's storytelling. It's that classic kind of folky around the campfire. That sounds kind of Western, but you know what I mean. It's not just the music as a feeling. It's the music as an oral history or oral storytelling. So, give us the details on these things too. What's up first?
This is kind of our theme song. This is called Feeling Lucky.
It's one thing to feel lucky when everything's going right, but it's another thing to feel lucky when it's all going wrong, and that's kind of what this song is about.
All right,
Try it.
So we're feeling lucky.
I'm gonna bust out of here. You get it.
Woke up this morning, rain pouring down. Slept in my car on the wrong side of town. Gas tank's on empty, my job's on the line. Boss man said this is my last time, but I'm feeling lucky. I'm feeling lucky. The clock on the dash said 8:15. But boss said don't come to work, you're gonna be late. So I drove to the store, I gave you a call, spent $20 on a Powerball, 'cause I'm feeling lucky. I'm feeling lucky. You kissed me last night, you whispered my name, you held me so tight, said I was your man. So I'm feeling lucky. I'm feeling lucky. 20 to 1 horse, I bet it all. I feel so good, no troubles at all. I'm gonna win that Powerball, 'cause I'm feeling lucky. I'm feeling lucky. I'm feeling lucky. I'm feeling lucky.
Excellent, man. That is smooth. You guys have done this before, I think.
A few times, yeah. The next song is called Tall Ships. We were part of the Key West Conch Republic Festival for years. And she was imagining what it would look like for tall ships leave Key West and go to Nova Scotia. So she wrote this song, and it wound up getting played on the radio in Halifax when the tall ships were coming in, and we were standing on the dock. We did some shows in Nova Scotia, so we're standing on the docks. The first song on the radio, listening to watching the ships come in. That was pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
So,
Those are the kind of life events you don't. There's more to making music than making money.
You know what?
I hope so.
There's a
I hope, yeah, because I ain't making no money.
Well, Utah Phillips said, "I'd rather make a living than make a killing."
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
so I kind of like it. In fact, with music, we broke even. If we break even, we pop the champagne. We broke even.
That's right. Then you go buy more gear.
That's right. Yeah, another guitar.
Ding, 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 ding. I like you. All right, so Tall Ships.
Tall ships.
Miss Maggie. We can take that.
Out of Key West on the mighty Atlantic, around the cape called Hatteras, tall ships are sailing, white sails billowy, all the way up to Nova Scotia, all the way up to Nova Scotia. Ooh. All the way up to Nova Scotia, all the way up to Nova Scotia. Fair winds are blowing, the sun is shining down on the decks of polished teak wood. Starlight is guiding them safely onward, all the way up to Nova Scotia, all the way up to Nova
White crested waves crash over the bowsprit, rising and falling like breathing of air. All ships are sailing, their majesty calling, all the way up to Nova Scotia, all the way up to Nova Scotia. Out of Key West, tall ships are sailing, all the way up to Nova Scotia, all the way up to Nova Scotia, all the way up to Nova Scotia, all the way up to Nova Scotia. Thank you.
Very nice indeed. A little haunting. I like that.
Yeah,
a little
it's-
nostalgic and.
Well, I saw the ships, I love that motion of the ships, and we, one of the things we did, we had friends that were always like on the America and the Western Union and the really beautiful big ships down in Key West Harbor, and I loved watching them under full sail.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah. So that's good stuff. I mean, because you can really, it's not just the lyrics, but the music with it and the kind of the harmonies even, or they really paint a picture of what's going on there. And that's pretty cool stuff. Very well done. Very well done.
So
So,
we've been married over 49 years. We've been touring
Oh,
and
50.
playing music for that long.
50.
And on the road, a lot of times it's, once you get finished counting the tip jar, then you sit and play poker with the change. So we still have that same jar of pennies we've carried for 50 years now. So that's kind of what this song is just about. It's called Take Me With You When You Go.
all right.
I don't know. I can remember. She was standing on the corner, watching the light turn green to red. She wore a thick black sweater and a short skirt. Had that restless look that young girls get. I was topping off my truck for a long light drive through San Antonio, hoping to catch the sunrise in New Mexico. She chewed her thumb, walked under the station lights. She glanced at my tag and she said, "You're a long way from home." Put my wallet back in my jeans and I said, "Home? Hell, I don't even know where that is anymore." She said, "Where are you going?" I said, "I don't know." She said, "Take me with you when you go." That was November 17th, 20 years ago. She's still riding shotgun and she knows every song on the radio. I'm still playing bars, my same old guitar, living on takeout food and bottles of wine to go. Making love like we were kids in some exit ramp motel, counting up my tip jar money, stories we could tell. It's funny how the good life, just be sitting on a bed, playing poker with a jar of pennies, listening to the Grateful Dead. She said life is good. There are better times ahead. We call Interstate 10 the river. My old truck, that's our boat. I got a steady line of bar gigs now, and it's keeping us afloat. She writes stories on the internet about life out on the road. Lots of people read them. She calls it Take Me With You When You Go. We see all the big music stars on TV. They're flying so high. But down here, under the rainbow, we get by. Making love like we were kids in some exit ramp motel. Counting up my tip jar money. It's one of the stories that she tells. Funny how the good life. You just be sitting on a bed, playing poker with a jar of pennies, writing songs in my head. She said life is good, and there are better times ahead. Yeah, life is good. There are better times ahead.
Yes! You two are, I tell you, you're just cute.
We're attached to that.
I know, the look on your face when he's singing that. And
Yeah.
Well, we have so many friends, you know, it's funny. We have really wonderful singer-songwriters, I mean, really accomplished people who've had huge hits covered by unbelievable people. And they literally show up and they kind of don't have any money. They kind of,
Yeah.
they've gone through terrible relationships and had 3 or 4 wives and lost houses and, and it's interesting. It's like,
that gives you good fodder for your songwriting.
it does, but there's a thing about
Yeah.
quality of life and
Yeah.
and about the quality of having people around you that you love and trust. And to me, the music is when you're true to yourself and you're true to the music, then good things happen. And I watched it in Nashville, and there were so many people there who just had no musical integrity.
Mhm.
They were just there for the money, and they
Turning
made
the
lots
crank.
of it.
Yeah.
They made lots of it, but it didn't satisfy their soul. It didn't make them
Yeah.
happy. So
Well, and it comes out in the music too.
it does.
I mean, it really does. You think about the acts that stick with you forever, and the songs that stick with you forever. They're not the cutesy little poppy hits, which are fine and fun. I mean, don't get me wrong.
But one song
But-
by Tom Waits can make you cry. It's amazing. Isn't
Yeah.
it? The difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think, honestly, I think with us, we, our goal, the thing that makes us the happiest, if we have an audience that reacts to a song.
Mhm.
They can laugh, they can cry, they can just think about it. But if you get just one person reacts to a lyric that you've written or
Mhm.
something, that's worth everything, so.
Well, don't have me up there because I'm reacting to all of them. So
Good.
that last one, I was just, you guys are so
Well,
cute.
the next one,
Just watch it.
the next was really personal because she wrote it after Hurricane Michael.
Well, yeah.
And
this
she
was-
took her a year to write one that wasn't terror.
Yeah. Well, I think we all, it was a collective concussion that we all went through.
PTSD, the whole.
Yeah.
We stood in
Your
our
whole
old-
world got turned upside down. There was nothing normal. There was nothing,
No.
yeah.
We
And
stood in
then-
our old farmhouse with a bottle of Jameson's and 2 shot glasses and listened to the trees fall.
Do you lose a lot of trees up there?
Oh, yeah.
100 big oaks. on our land.
Well, everybody lost a lot,
yeah.
and we
Yeah.
lost a lot less than a lot of people. So
Yeah,
we
that's
were,
it, yeah.
we were really lucky. I mean, and we had great friends that came from all over the state of Florida who came and helped us. They brought us generators
Oh,
and
yeah,
they
it's
sent,
gonna be a lot of work too. Get all that
they
stuff
sent
out,
in, but
yeah.
they also sent in like sleeping bags and all kinds of
The
stuff.
Florida folk music community donated a lot of things from around the state up here that got dispersed.
Yeah. So we would take, you know, we would get things in, Amazon would ship them in, people would ship them in to us, and we would take them out and when we could, and to other places, like sleeping bags and blankets, and,
Yeah.
you know, we had a lot of help from a lot of people, and I, you know, for all of the, well, in my song, for all of the bad things that it did, I think it really showed us the worth of community.
Yeah. And you really start to see, you know, we take a lot of things for granted, including friendships and things like that,
That's right.
and these tight communities within communities.
That's right.
You know, the folk music group or whatever.
Friends
It's
with
it's
chainsaws.
amazing how people will come together.
Friends with chainsaws, that's what you like.
Friends with chainsaws. That sounds like a punk song. You need to work
Well,
on that one.
It's-
Well,
All right, so
different context for the chainsaws, I'm just saying.
so this song is called
After the storm.
After the Storm. It's Maggie. It's Mike.
Stars sure look brighter than before. Maybe it's just the way I see 'em now. There's a new world right outside my door. Maybe I didn't see it until now. Somehow after the storm, does the moon seem bigger in the night? Does the space between the trees just give more light? Does the sun feel hotter on my skin? Maybe it's just the world seems so much brighter after the storm. All the bad damage that it's done, the storm has brought us all together. No matter the challenges that come, somehow, some way we'll all be better after the storm. Tears on my face will come and go. Stories over time will lose their fervor. But in my heart of hearts, I'll always know this dreadful storm has made us so much better. A little kinder after the storm. After the storm. After the storm.
Very nice. Very. That's so true. I mean, I know my neighbors now so much better.
Yeah. Well, it was interesting
You
too.
didn't know you had
because-
neighbors before.
We waved as we drove past each other, you know, but
But we would sit out, we didn't have power for 24 days, so we were
Yeah.
without it for a long, long time, and no telephone, no nothing. And we would sit out on our back deck, and we'd watch the sunrise, because of course, you went to bed early, you got up early, and we'd watch the sunrise, and we'd think, wow, first of all, the trees were all gone, So we had never seen the sunrise
Yeah.
before at that level.
Rose half an hour earlier, yeah.
Exactly. So that was like, wow, that's cool. And then we actually could watch the sun set across the street because all the trees over there were gone. So it was like, you know, it did really bad things, but it
Yeah.
also kind of, made us all, I think, appreciate what we do have in that.
Absolutely. Beautiful.
Every minute.
Sure. This one's just fun.
I like fun songs.
This is one of those fun songs. It's
All that big talk we did last time about, lyrics and songs from the heart.
Bubble
this
gum
This
mud.
one's fun.
We do bubble gum
fun.
mud too.
And actually, we recorded
They
it
can't
here.
all be serious.
We recorded it here with the Dashboard Chihuahuas.
Ah,
They played on this one.
the
so-
Chihuahuas.
Yeah, it was so much
Panama
fun.
City's, downtown Panama
That's
City's
right.
favorite underground band.
That's right.
The
Studio
Dashboard
812,
Chihuahuas.
Dashboard
Love
Chihuahuas.
those guys. All
Every,
right.
every minute of the day.
Every minute of the day, Lucky Mud.
I got you on my mind. I got you on my mind every minute of the day. Every minute of the day. Every minute, every minute, every minute of the day. I got you in my life. I got you in my life every minute of the day. Every minute of the day. Every minute, every minute, every minute of the day. Every minute of the day. You are all that I need. Every minute of the day. You're everything to me. Hey, I got you in my thoughts. I got you in my thoughts every minute of the day. Every minute of the day. Every minute, every minute, every minute of the day. I got you in my dreams. I got you in my dreams every minute of the day. Every minute of the day. Every minute, every minute, every minute of the day. Every minute of the day. You are all that I need. Every minute of the day. You're everything to me. Hey, I got you in my heart. I got you in my heart every minute of the day. Every minute of the day. Every minute, every minute, every minute of the day. Every minute, every minute, every minute of the day. Every minute, every minute, every minute of the day.
There's nothing bubble gum about that. That's a good song.
I say that's my Buddy Holly song that you never heard.
That sounds about right, yeah.
That's why I have to put the little bop bop in there because I want to be the crickets just long enough.
You'd be a cricket.
Yeah.
Very nice. I like it all. I like it all. I'm not going to look at that. It's going to be a surprise.
It won't help.
He can't see it either.
Oh, okay. Okay. What's up? What you got? What you
We toured Ireland for 10 years, and we missed it terribly. And
got? It is I was there for a week.
right.
And, which is enough to blow through, but I could see where the people and
People were awesome.
and just the environment and the whole thing could really grow on you.
We always went to the west of Ireland through
Yeah.
Connemara, down Galway, and up through Sligo in that area. And the first year we didn't go, I missed it so much I wrote this song called I'm a Wealthy Man in Connemara, because I just felt like that over there. So that's what this one is. We'll see how it works.
All right.
All right. I normally play my mandolin, so I'm I doing okay?
I don't, you were looking for something.
I'm always looking for something. Mostly trouble.
Well, you don't have,
I know.
you don't have to look.
No, I don't.
I'm a wealthy man in Connemara. I own the hills down to the sea. The silver pools, the golden heather, wait there in my dreams for me. So many friends in Murriskabi, I so still now by the bay, but I can hear their ringing laughter in my dreams so far away. Galway to County Mayo, that's all I'll ever need. I'm a wealthy man in Connemara. When I'm away, I'm poor indeed. I love a land that is not mine now. My heart was stolen long ago. A stranger passing through these valleys and along the Garrigo, down the winding streets of Sligo, cold sea crashing to the shore of a lonely beach on Ackle Island. Will I see them anymore? Galway to County Mayo holds all I'll ever need. I'm a wealthy man in Connemara. When I'm away, I'm poor indeed. La 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 la. I would miss that land.
That's nice. I imagine that got a good reception over there too.
We did, and you know,
good
we have lots of friends still there, so it's special relationships. You know, when you go just the first couple of times, but when you really start getting to know the people, you know,
Right,
from you know, really in their mode, and you know, you start really getting down. You really start learning a lot more about the culture. They're very reserved.
Yes.
You know, they seem very open and friendly, but they're very reserved about their emotions and about their feelings as far as, you know, the troubles and things like that. So we were there long enough that we got to actually,
Get to know them.
get a little deeper than most people do. So it was, that song really, they love that song, so.
Well, I think it's good that that we have those kind of really exchange.
Okay.
Smooth, and you know it.
Yeah, we're so sweet.
We'll do the cowboy, and then we'll do just checking in.
Okay.
The cowboy, my mama taught me to yodel when I was about 5 years old, and Maggie and I have been yodeling. We're not a yodeling band. We are a band that will occasionally yodel. Okay.
Okay, get ready for this sound, people.
So
Now, Calvin, I need some clarification here. If you yodel once, you're a yodeler. Isn't that the way it works? Okay, I was just checking. I was checking with the sound
I've
guy.
heard that said before, but yes.
Anyway.
I wrote this song to explain the yodel because we do yodeling workshops, and
Wait. A
We do.
yodeling workshop.
oh yeah, we do. Uh-huh.
How far do you live from
But at
anybody
folk,
else?
When we're at folk festivals, we do this. At home, we never yodel because the dog doesn't like it.
Yeah, but scare off the raccoons.
Be afraid, be very afraid.
There's a song called The Cowboy. We played it a couple of weeks ago in Montana, and it's amazing to go to the Montana Cowboy Poetry and Western Music Gathering.
With actual cowboys.
Yes.
And they may be lawyers, they may be professors, but they're cowboys. That's what they are. They were born and raised on horseback. And it's just another culture.
Oh yeah.
So
And I have a clue for everybody. Don't ever ask them how many acres they have. Because I will tell you, being a Florida cattle person, we had like 100 acres or
Yeah.
whatever. Oh,
cute.
no, yeah, exactly. They're like,
cute.
well, ma'am, I don't know exactly how many acres I have.
I got
Start
some-
out with 66,000 acres and go up
Yeah.
there.
Right.
See those mountains over there? See that river down there?
Pretty much it.
Go just the other side.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, a lot of country up there. Not a lot of people.
No.
A lot of cattle.
And it takes a lot of land per cattle,
Right,
per
right.
cow, you know, so.
Not an efficient food production
No.
method,
No.
But they sure do know how to make prime rib.
but they do taste good. All right, it's the
Okay.
cowboy.
Cowboy. A yodel makes the sound of the moon when it's 100 miles away from city lights and just out of the reach of your hands. Campfire sounds like castanets, a river like a woman's breath, and the cowboy makes the sound of loneliness. A cowboy's not a cowboy 'cause he wants to be. He's a cowboy 'cause he can't do nothing else. Canyon walls don't reach as high. A desert just don't feel as wide as the main street of some old cattle town. So leave some open land for the cowboy, one unbroken trail, one mountain to the sky. Leave a pretty girl waiting for him at the end of some long and dusty cattle drive. A yodel makes the sound of a lone coyote. It's the way a heart sounds when it breaks. The wind is like a baby's sigh, freight train like a last goodbye. A yodel's just a lullaby, just the way a cowboy tries to settle with the world. Oh, diddle-ay, diddle-ay, diddle-ay. Oh, diddle-ay. Hope we didn't scare the children.
Oh, I think it was excellent. It was excellent. Hey, we got time for Uno Mas.
Uno mas.
Uno Mas.
Uno mas, okay. we'll
My
do it.
favorite
So-
kind of moss, actually.
Yeah, it only grows on the northern side of trees. I don't know. Anyway, we got time for one more if we want
Okay.
to squeeze a good one in, and
We
then
do.
we'll chit chat a little about
Mike-
.coms and all that good stuff. So.
Yeah. Mike's mom was 100 years old. She turned 100 years old September of last year. And
Strong.
We
Yeah.
lost her in December.
she lived by herself. She had her own house. She did everything. And I always felt guilty. We would call and, I'd say, hey, it's Maggie. I'm just calling to check in, And she, several months after she turned 100, she went to do her laundry. And even though she had plenty of help and fell down the stairs and broke 3 ribs and never recovered.
sorry to hear
So,
But she lived her whole life to her own.
Yeah, definitely got our money's worth. So,
yeah. So she was an incredible woman. So I kind of wrote this song for her, but about how we fail to be really great friends, but I think we're all trying our best, so. this is
Okay,
just-
what's the song?
This is called Just Checking In.
Just checking in.
Hello, this is Maggie. I just called to check in. Find out if you're okay, and to let you know that you have a friend. And I was thinking about you today. I know I don't always pay attention to you. I let my life get in the way. But sometimes at night, when I close my eyes, I picture you standing here with that smile on your face. I found your shirt in the back of the closet, your old coffee cup in the cabinet in the den, a leather glove from a long time ago. Maybe want to call you today and check in. I would promise that I'd call you at least once a week, but we both know that wouldn't be true. Just know that you are always in my heart. You're my friend, and I'll always love you. Hello, this is Maggie. I just called to check in. Find out if you're okay, and to let you know that you have a friend. And I was thinking about you today. Yes, I was thinking about you today. Hello, this is Maggie. I just called to check in.
Thanks for having me. This is nice.
Thank you.
That was sweet. Thank you very much. Where can people, I know we talked about it before, you got concerts going, you got albums people can buy, you got radio shows.
Books.
Where is this
Lucky,
ginormous media empire? Where can people can find it?
LuckyMudmusic.com. That's
Lucky Mud,
1D, Mud.
1D, luckymudmusic.com.
That's right.
Beautiful.
And Maggie's Musical Farm is where we hold our concerts on Sunday afternoons at 2. Starting the end of October, Halloween weekend.
Scary.
Yep.
It is scary, spooky.
We're going to have a masked ball.
That's what we all do now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Miss Maggie, thank you so much for coming
Thank
in.
you so much.
Wonderful.
That was great.
Thank
Mike.
you for,
Always good to see you guys.
thank you for having us.
All right, that's going to wrap us up for my man Tom, Calvin back on the desk, all the lovely people here at Studio 812. That's the end of the show. We'll see you next week.
Thank
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
We survived. We survived.
Bye. 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 Bye.